always like to find a salad on a brunch menu. It makes me feel much less guilty about having a cocktail and some delicious carb-loaded creations as well. This salad starts with just the best, freshest greens you can find. I really like this spring mix because it gives you a variety of colors and textures on your plate. You can assemble these in individual servings if you want. If I was serving my family, I would do that because they don't share so well. And certainly someone would take all the smoked salmon off the platter. But for today, we'll just assemble one big one. So once you've got your greens there, your base is all set and ready to go. I'm going to slice up some strawberries. I didn't used to like strawberries. When I was a kid, one of my sisters told me that the seeds would sprout in my stomach and grow out my ears. So I missed out on strawberries for a long time, but now I really love them. And now that we're fortunate enough to get them pretty much all year round, it's great to add strawberries to salads for a big pop of color, as you can see here on this plate. That's probably enough for sharing now. That's great. And next up, we're going to add our smoked salmon. If you are lucky enough to have someone in your area that smokes fish locally and cuts it in thicker slabs, that's the best thing to use for this because you get that nice, perfect look of the pieces on the plate. But regular smoked salmon from your favorite fishmonger or grocery store will work just as well. And you just kind of want to scatter it over the platter, again, so it's shareable. It helps if you break it up first with a knife or your fingers so you have just little pieces to put on. Because this is fish, you don't want to assemble this a long ways ahead, but you can do it up to this point and put it back in the fridge so that you're ready to finish the salad when your guests are ready to sit down and enjoy your brunch. There, we've got it nicely distributed. There we go. Next, we're going to add a nice sprinkling of crumbled goat cheese. Feta would be great as well. I just like the creaminess of the goat cheese to contrast with the crispness of the greens. So we'll just scatter that on. There we go. And I'm going to chop up some fresh dill for yet another flavor. What I'm trying to do here is really layer the flavors in a dish, and that's something that it took me a long time to learn. Sometimes we just think of something that's salty or something that's sweet, but if you can have a dish that hits a bunch of different flavor points, it's going to make a lot more of an impact and be more memorable. Dill is pretty mild, so it's certainly not going to overpower this dish. There we go. And for the salty hit, we've got some capers. See, there's a little brine in the bowl, so we'll just take them out with a fork. Capers are actually the pickled buds of nasturtium flowers. And I once had a showdown with a chef in a restaurant who disagreed with me. I made him go and get his reference book from the kitchen, and he was so surprised to learn that he gave me a free drink. So I thought that was pretty great. There's our capers. Last up, we're going to make a really, really simple dressing. It's just maple syrup, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of salt. Because of the capers and the smoked salmon already being salty, we don't want to add too much salt, but you need a little bit to counteract the sweetness of the syrup. Then we're going to add a generous amount of Dijon. And the great thing about Dijon is it not only gives you some heat, but it also makes the dressing really, really creamy in texture. And I love to make dressings in little mason jars. I do it all the time because then you don't have to whisk them. You just give it a good shake for about 20 or 30 seconds and your dressing will be perfectly blended, whether it's a vinaigrette or a different combination like this. So now we drizzle this beautiful dressing over our salad, and you want to go slowly so you can really try and hit the whole platter, because then when people go to serve themselves, they'll get dressed leaves along with their strawberries and their salmon. And there you go. Isn't that a beautiful salad to finish off your perfect brunch meal?
Paula Roy's Favorite Foods is made possible with the help of Farm Boy. It's all about the food.